Hello students, today we will start our discussion on the mathematical equations. In this topic, we need to solve a system of equations in such a way that all the requirements are met. One system of equation always consists of several single equations, and your task will be to find the unknown letters in the equations. For example, if we have equation like a plus 9 is equal to let's say 12, then we know that the value of a is 3, which makes of this equation balanced. So there will be only one solution for each letter, and in which all the requirements are met, and your answers shall be between 1 and 20. There will not be any answers like 21. That is not possible in this particular test. And now let's get to the examination. The examination will be for this module, for this section, will be 25 minutes, and you need to solve the 20 system of equations. So obviously the time is always a constraint in the TestAs. So you need to be quick and accurate, and you can try to guess. If you don't get the answer, there is no negative marking. So please go for the guess and solve and put the answer to each and every question out there. And the most important is that you are not allowed to take notes, so you have to do everything in your mind. So this is the biggest catch. Let's start our discussion with this first example. Here we are given the two equations. Here the first equation is a plus 2 is equal to b and b is equal to 6. So it's quite easy for us, and when we substitute the value of b here, it becomes a plus 2 is equal to 6. So to balance these equations, or there is another way you can solve it in your mind, that we can transfer this 2 on the opposite side and the sign will change. So the value of a should be 4 out here. So our answer for this particular equation shall be a is equal to 4 and b is equal to 6. Now in the second example, we are given two equations, b is equal to 2a and b plus a is 12. So now in this second equation, we will put the b is equal to 2a. So it becomes 2a here, and then plus a is equal to 12. And in the next step, it becomes 3a is equal to 12, and the value of a will be a is equal to 12 upon 3, it becomes 4. So our answer will become a is equal to 4, and if we substitute 4 here, the b will become 8. So this is our answer. But the only catch is that you have to do all this calculation all in your mind. So start doing these calculations first on page, get used to it, and then do all these questions in your mind only, because you're not allowed to take notes. Let's take few more examples that are given in the TestAs official website. So here we have equation that is for the exercise number 1. 7 plus a is equal to 14 and b minus 3 is equal to a. So always start solving the equations where we have one variable. So here we have one variable. So an equation will consist of two things. First is the variable, and the second is the constant. So variable is like all the variables for the value can be vary, like a, b, c, or x, y, z, anything. The constant will be the number, like we can say the integer here. So 7 plus if a is equal to 14, from out of this equation we conclude that a is equal to 7. And then to balance this equation, we have 7 here. To balance this equation, the b will be 10. So the answer for the b is 10. You don't need to remember the answer of a is equal to 7, just put this on the answer screen. In this second example, uh, we have two equations and both the variables are available in these two equations. We'll start to solve this equation by taking up any equation first. So we extract the value of b out of here, so it becomes b, here it is divided, it means b is equal to 2a, and we substitute this value here, so 2a minus a is equal to 8, which makes our value of a is equal to 8. Now we substitute the value again in this first equation, so the answer for a is equal to 8. When we substitute this in our first equation, b is equal to 2a, so the answer of b will become 2 into a is 8, it becomes 16. Well, let's discuss this exercise. Here we are given three equations and there will be three variables. So out of the first equation, we extract that a is equal to 3c, and we put this information in the second equation, so it becomes 3c plus c is equal to 8, and we can extract from here, it becomes 4c is equal to 8, and the value for c will be, we can say 8 by 4, it becomes 2. So we can extract from here that c is equal to 2, and if c is equal to 2, then a becomes 6 because a is equal to 3c, and out of this information we can find the value of b. It becomes 2 into a, 2 into a is what? A is 6, so it becomes 12, and 2 into c is what? 2 into c is 4, and we can say that the value for b is 16. So the answer is c is equal to 2, a is equal to 6, and b is equal to 16. As soon as you get the answer, you put the answer on your answer screen. So you don't need to remember what is the value for c, what is the value for a that we find the solution. So just put it on the. Let's try to solve this next question. Here we are given three equations. It is very critical for you which equation you take up the first. If you observe these questions, you can only see only in this equation. So if you take up this equation first, you're not going to get anywhere. So we can solve two variables with the two equations, like a and b is available here, a and b is available again here. So we can solve the value of both these variables, and let's get going with it. So I'll take this equation first, so it becomes b is equal to 2a, and we substitute this value here, 18 minus, and the value of b we take up as 2a, it becomes 18 is equal to 3a, and from this we say that a is equal to 6. Now if a is equal to 6, what will be the b? B here, b is 2a, so it becomes 2 times the value of a, so b is 12, and out of here we need to extract the value of c. Now what is c? C is 3 times a is 6, so c becomes 18. So you must have observed that these kind of questions are very easy, and with a little bit of practice you can score really good marks. Let's discuss this next type of questions. Here the difficulty level is little higher, but again with a little bit of practice and the correct approach you can solve these questions very easily. Now let's get to this question. Here you must observe one thing, that the b variable is available everywhere. So what we can do, we can substitute this a, b, a, d and c with the b and apply it in this our first equation. So instead of a, so our equation is a minus b plus c minus d is equal to 2. So instead of a, we can write it up as 5b and minus, instead of b we write again it's in the b, plus c. Instead of c we can write it up as 10b, and instead of d, so here we need to stay focused. The sign here is minus, so we are going to substitute 11 plus b instead of d. So you need to change the sign for both these two. So it becomes minus 11 and minus b is equal to 2. So this is one of the very important point, that you need to take the sign or and flip it for all the constant and variables. So now it's very easy for us. Let's solve it. 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. 4 plus 10 is 14. 14 minus 1 is 13. So 13b minus 11 is equal to 2, and the value of b will be, the 11 goes to the opposite side, so it becomes 13 and 13b, and it becomes, so we can say that answer for b is equal to 1. Now if b is 1, c is equal to 10, and if b is 1, again a is equal to 5, we can say that equal to 5, and the value of d will be, if b is 1, the value of d will be 11 plus 1 is equal to 12. So d is equal to 12. We'll solve our next question with the same approach. Here you will see that the c is the common variable in all these equations, so we'll substitute the c and solve our question. So here we have c, we write it as c plus d. D is equal to 5c, and a is equal to 13 minus c. And so again that we discussed, the sign here is minus, so you need to reverse both the signs for all the variables and constant. The 13 was positive, so we write it up as negative, and the c is positive here now because it was negative out here, so equals to 1. And we'll solve the c for first, so it becomes 5 plus 1 plus 1, 7c is equal to 13 goes to the other side, so it becomes 14. So we can say that this value of c is equal to 2. So now if value of c is equal to 2, what will the value of d? D becomes 10. Now if the value of c is 2, the value of a will become 11, and then we can find the value of b also. If the value of c is 2, then the value of b becomes 3 into 2 is 6, minus 1 is equal to 5. So value of b becomes 5. So with the correct approach, you will be able to solve these questions very easily. So you just need to stay focused. That only problem you're going to get is that you cannot take the notes, so you have to do these questions in your mind only. So thing is, again, I always emphasize is on the practice. So do a lot of practice. You'll be able to conquer this TestAs section very easily, and you'll be scoring a really good marks. So I conclude this session here. Thank you very much.